Alright guys, welcome to your 70th Java tutorial. That is unreal, 70 tutorials, that's crazy. Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to be learning about switch statements and we're going to need a scanner, so we're going to import that right away, java.util.scanner. Let's make it right now, not holding back anymore, just going for it. Scanner in is equal to new scanner system.in. Okay, and just right now, so we don't forget, we'll do in.close, and we'll put all our code in between here. Okay, so what a switch statement does is it essentially fulfills the purpose of multiple if statements. It's kind of like another conditional operator. It's a lot easier than polymorphism, don't worry. We're kind of just going back to cover some essential topics now that really fit in well with polymorphism. But anyways, let's prompt the user for them to enter in their favorite season. So we'll create a string season. So like spring, summer, winter, fall, and so let's do season is equal to in.next. Okay, and now here's what we'll do. We will have our switch statement. So what you do is you type switch, and then in parentheses you type the name of the variable you want to test. So we'll type season in here. And now you have your braces, kind of like you'd have a if statement. And the difference is, in switch statements, you don't type anything else in the parentheses besides the variable name. Don't try, don't do anything, just type the variable name. And then how you test the variable is you type case. So the thing with switch statements is you can only test to see if values are equal to something. So if you want to check like if a value is like less than a whole bunch of set values, it's not going to work well. It works well if you know that there's like a very specific value you want to test and it has to be exactly equal to it. So what you do is you type case, and then you don't type parentheses or anything. You just type the you type the variable you want it to see if it's equal to. So like we'll type spring, and then after you type your case, you type a colon, and then you type the code that you want to be executed if you find that your variable is equal to this case. So we'll type we'll just do some printing out, system.out.println I like spring 2. Alright, and then once you're done with everything you want to type in your switch statement, you have to type the break keyword that we learned about. If you don't type the break keyword, you're going to start seeing that a whole bunch of different cases will execute and your program's going to get really buggy. So make sure that you type this break statement. Technically, the thing is your computer's not going to catch it because it's not wrong, but you need to have it, otherwise your program's going to flip out. So make sure you do that. And now we'll have a case for summer. You can have multiple cases. You can have as many cases as you want. So we have our summer case. We'll print out system.out.println summer rocks my socks. Okay. Now we have to make sure we type our break. Now we have case fall, and we will what do we think about fall? Halloween and stuff. And I just realized we didn't even prompt the user, and it's going to bother me. Hang on, let me just skip out for a sec. Print out, we're going to ask them for their favorite season. So this is why we're printing out these stuff. System.out.print. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite season? Okay, and then that's why I said I like spring too. Summer rocks my socks, Halloween and stuff, and now we need break. Make sure you don't forget that break. And now we have winter. Case winter. So if someone enters winter as their favorite season, we'll say your stupid winter sucks. Looks good to me. That's what I think. Okay. And now there's one last kind of case. So what happens if the user enters a value that isn't equal to any of these? Like they completely screw up and, you know, what's going to happen, because none of these will get executed because they didn't even enter a case. So what you do is you type default. So default is just like it sounds. It's the default case. If someone enters a value other than this, the code's going to execute the default case. So always put the default case last. The default case will execute if none of the other ones go off. So make sure you put it last, and then we'll print out system.out.println. That's not even a season. Okay. And then you can type break if you want. At this point, it's the end, so you don't really have to, but there's no harm. All right, so now let's refine our code, because we're, knee deep in the end of our tutorials. We might as well start making our code more efficient, more practical. So first we have to add that semicolon. Now let's make sure that we are kind of all on the same page with capitalization. So let's set season equal to season dot to lowercase. So we're just going to make everything lowercase so we don't have any confusion with these case statements or anything, because that'll just get annoying and weird. So we got that figured out. Now there's another thing, just with case statements or switch statements in general, you can have more than one case have the same code. So if we have case fall, but we also want to have case like autumn, you make sure it's lowercase now that we changed everything to lowercase. But what this will do is if it executes case fall or case autumn, it's going to run this chunk of code right here. Both these cases are going to execute this code. Another thing I just kind of want to explain, if you are paying attention or if you remember closely, the way you have to test strings and if statements is you have to go like if season dot equals, and then in parentheses that's a method like winter. That's how you have to test strings in if statements. You can't do if season is equal to winter. That doesn't work. So you're probably wondering why they work with switch statements. Well, Java just kind of handles this internally. Actually, there's no real like technical explanation to that. Java just kind of handles this on its own. It allows you to use these strings in switch statements. Another thing, you can also use integers with these switch statements. You can test a whole bunch of different integer values. I'm sure you guys could figure out how to do that. Instead of typing case spring, you can just do like case 0. That's all you have, or like case like 5. And you can test a whole bunch of like any variables that make sense. Oops, let me go back. And now I think I've covered everything. Let's run our program. Let's see what we get here. So what's your favorite season? Let me just run through all of them real quick. Well, spring, I like spring too. So that makes sense because that's what we wanted to do. And if we do summer, summer rocks my socks. Or if we did fall, Halloween and stuff. And autumn, that's not even a season because I spelled it wrong. How about autumn, Halloween and stuff? There we go, if you gotta spell it right. And then winter, your stupid winter sucks. Now what if we did winter with all caps? Your stupid winter sucks. Winter still sucks. You can't mask the fact that it sucks by typing it in all capital letters. It still sucks regardless. Okay. That's our program. That's how you use switch statements. Switch statements, you'll see, are super, super important. I'm getting to it. These last couple tutorials will wrap up together real nicely. So I'll see you guys in our next tutorial.